Hi, good afternoon. This is Pak Marcus, the instructor of this class. I'm going to accompany you learning evaluation in English education, the course by Kajian Bahasa Inggris. The title of this course is Evaluation English in English Education. And this is the course description. Language learning literature suggests a growing interest towards a holistic view of language pedagogy. And the concept of being holistic means that it integrates planning, assessment, and materials and strategies. This course is set to equip graduate students with ample opportunities to develop substantive knowledge related to evaluation in English education and practical implications related to language learning assessments. In addition, students are also stimulated to engage in an introductory scientific investigation of language evaluation. So the introductory scientific investigation will describe tensions, contradictions, contestations, ambiguities, and conflicts in the area. I have a very strong reason why we utilize this perspective, and I will tell you later that I draw from the activity theory from Lev Vygotsky and then later developed completely by Angus Storm. But for now, let's discuss about the course goals. There are 3 goals from this class. By the end of the course, students are able to first develop comprehensive understandings of evaluation in English education. And the second one is develop evaluation materials relevant to undergraduate students. And the third one is to conduct a research project describing the tensions, contradictions, contestations, ambiguities, and conflicts of evaluation in English education. So basically, we will see that later in our life, you will never expect the clarity, the simplicity, but instead, you will find more complexity. But I will save for later discussion about the theoretical framework drawn from the activity theory by Lev Vygotsky. Now, what about the course materials and strategies? So I will describe the 8 areas of concerns that will be explored by the students. I would assume it's going to be in groups of 2. And the exploration will result in a series of mini lectures. I would assume it's going to be in 2 to 3 short videos between 10 to 13 minutes long and to be uploaded on YouTube. And this is certainly to reach the first learning goals. I will overview, I will provide the overview of 8 areas. The first one is basic concepts of terms of evaluation and or assessment language education, proficiency tests like IELTS, TOEFL, and TOEIC. And then this is the common European framework of reference as the guideline for learning and assessment throughout the universe, and evaluation in English education in the 21st century context, integrated learning approach and evaluation in English education, and then followed by 9 high-yield instructional strategies that work and evaluation in English education. The 7th one is high-stakes testing policy and implementation, opportunities and challenges. And the last one is program evaluation in English education. So let's take a look briefly about the questions. And these are basically guiding questions, but necessarily they are not exhaustive lists. So it means that you can expand and you can elaborate more if you have good ideas to elaborate these basic concepts or topics. Now, say for example, related to the first issue, you will address the rationale of evaluation and or assessment in English education, and you will also identify the differences between testing, evaluation, and assessment, and you will provide the elaboration of the types of evaluation in English education, program evaluation, learning evaluation, and so on and so forth. And so you may also add other issues related to methods, techniques to conducting evaluation in English education. So again, these questions are not an exhaustive list. You may add more questions if you really want to elaborate further. So these sets of questions are on a guideline for you, and you are certainly welcome to engage more elaboration. Now, related to the second issue, for example, you are going to discuss, you are going to introduce proficiency tests like IELTS, TOEFL, and TOEIC, and so on. If you have more, why not? And what are the goals and what are the challenges? And you may ask how plausible are they utilized for learning and also evaluation of assessment in language education. Now, case in point, we discussed about CEFR, CEFR, or Common European Framework of Reference, and you are going to introduce to others about what they are, what is it, what are the goals of the framework of reference, and what are the challenges, and whether it is plausible or not to utilize for learning and for English evaluation. And this is something interesting, especially related to the 21st century learning context. We need to discuss about what they are and what kinds of evaluation do we need to develop to embrace the 21st century challenges. And we need to also discuss about the challenges in order to embrace the 21st century learning. So, and another thing is related to the integrated learning approach and evaluation in English education. So, well, I have two basic questions. The first one is, what did post-method conditions in the English learning literature in the 1980s do to bring a significant difference in learning language approaches? And the second one is, what challenges do we still encounter to embrace integrated learning approach so as to create a more meaningful evaluation in English education? And the sixth issue is about 9 high-yield instructional strategies that work. This is from Marsano, Pickering, and Pollock in 2001, I would assume. 3 questions that follow are, the first, to what extent are learning strategies teachable? We need to know whether learning strategies are teachable or not. And we can compare and contrast those successful learners in comparison to those unsuccessful ones. What made them differ? Oh, that's a very good question to ask. And then we also need to ask, to what extent do the 9 high-yield instructional strategies go hand in hand with successful learning strategies? Now, the key issue is here, the word instruction, teaching. How related is this to learning? And this is the very good question to proposed them. And the third question related to this topic is how related or relevant the 9 high-yield instructional strategies with or to a powerful evaluation in English education. And we come to the 7th question related to high-stakes testing policy and implementation. And just to make you aware that high-stakes testing is the one that brings a significant impact on somebody. So for example, the test for graduation. In the past, we have Ujian Akhir Nasional or U1, and the fate of or destiny of students were determined by their ability to succeed in the UAN or UNAS. The test is considered to be high stakes because the impact will be significant to determine the life of the students. So we need to ask what made states or authorities fall in love with high stakes testing. This is very important for you to develop a better understanding of what high stakes testing in the eyes of bureaucracy. And the second issue is what are pros and cons of standardized high stakes testing policies. And of course, there are issues related to the proponents or those who support the standardized testing and those who contradict or disagree with the high stakes testing policies. And our current Minister of Education, Nadiem Makarim, seems to be disagreeing with the standardized high stakes testing policies. So he abolished the policies of Ujian Akhir Nasional. So we are going to talk about pros and cons and so forth. And the third question related to high stakes testing is what is empirical evidence to support it or discourage the high stakes testing policy implementation? And the next issue is related to program evaluation in English education. So what is meant by program evaluation in English education? And you are expected to describe some cases that demonstrate the implementation of program evaluation in English education. What are common approaches used to conduct program evaluation in English education? So this is going to be the first video of our class. And certainly I will continue making another video after this one. I personally make this shortened in order for you to get focused, because if the video gets too long and it's going to be a bit complicated and certainly it's not encouraging for you. So thank you.